Welcome to Memory Scope. Subscribe for more historical photos. On November 9, 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, marking the collapse of the barrier separating East and West Berlin. The event symbolized the end of Cold War divisions in Europe and sparked celebrations of freedom and reunification across Germany. In 1944, Bernard Cole captured Shoemaker's Lunch, depicting a moment of respite for a craftsman at work. The image reflects the everyday life and quiet dignity of labor during the mid-20th century. In 1944, a U.S. medic provided first aid to a wounded German SS soldier in France. The image highlights acts of humanity amid the brutality of World War II, showing compassion extended even to enemy combatants on the battlefield. In 1947, a young Freddie Mercury was photographed with his mother. The image captures a rare intimate moment from the early life of the future Queen frontman long before he became an iconic figure in rock music. Today marks the retirement of my physics teacher, concluding a remarkable 30-year career. Here we see him on his very first day on the job, beginning the journey that has shaped decades of student scientific understanding. From 1967 to 2018, the same couple shared countless journeys on the same bicycle. Over 5 decades, their bond and loyalty endured a simple yet powerful testament to enduring love and the quiet constancy of shared moments. In the early 1990s, my son and I didn't have a camera. Instead, we periodically visited a photo booth, capturing fleeting moments together. Each strip became a small, treasured record of our time and connection. In 1994, Princess Diana wore the iconic revenge dress the night Prince Charles publicly admitted to being unfaithful. The striking gown became a symbol of strength and defiance, forever etched in the public memory of that turbulent chapter. In the 1950s, she stood out remarkably. Ahead of her time in thought and style, her actions and choices challenged conventions, leaving a lasting impression on those around her and quietly shaping the era in which she lived. In 1932, Dr. Eric Salomon faked a broken arm to conceal a camera capturing one of only 2 illegal photographs ever taken inside the U.S. Supreme Court, while in session, a daring act of journalistic ingenuity. In 1862, during the Battle of Antietam, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln stood alongside his personal bodyguard and others. This rare image captures a pivotal moment in history, placing the nation's leader amidst the intensity of war. In 1996, a 3-year-old boy fell into a gorilla enclosure surrounded by 7 gorillas. Binti Jua, a female gorilla with her baby on her back, cradled him and safely handed him to zookeepers, making headlines worldwide. In 1954, Tragedy by the Sea captured a married couple standing on a beach moments after learning their 19-month-old son had disappeared. The haunting image conveys profound grief and the fragile nature of life's most precious moments. Between 1887 and 1888 in Mecca, a photograph captured a Meccan merchant with his Circassian slave. The image offers a rare glimpse into social hierarchies and daily life in the city during the late 19th century. This Buddha statue stood in Afghanistan for centuries, a silent witness to history and devotion. Before its destruction in 1992, it embodied cultural heritage and artistic mastery, lost forever, yet remembered through photographs and historical records. In 1899, the interior of a hunter's cabin in Maine is photographed. This scene offers a glimpse into rustic life, revealing the simple furnishings, practical design, and daily routines of those living in remote wilderness settings. This photograph showcases beautiful women archers from the mid- and 20th century. The image highlights their skill form and dedication to the sport, reflecting both athletic achievement and the growing visibility of women in competitive archery during the era. In 1920, a Harley-Davidson motorcycle ambulance is photographed, demonstrating the versatility of motorcycles in emergency and medical services. This image highlights early innovations in transport for patient care and the adaptation of motorcycles beyond personal use. In the 1880s, a young photographer is captured at the start of their career. This image reflects the era's burgeoning interest in photography and the promise of individuals shaping the art and practice of visual documentation. In 1935, the champion watermelon eater is photographed during a 4th of July celebration in Brooklyn. This scene captures festive competition summer traditions and the lighthearted pageantry that marked public celebrations in mid-20th century urban America. On April 28, 1923, 3,000 spectators gather for the FA Cup final at Wembley Stadium, London. Known as the White Horse Final Police on white horses, worked to manage the massive crowd during this historic sporting event. In 1905, Joe Fortes, originally from Barbados, serves as Vancouver's first official lifeguard at English Bay Beach. Renowned for saving dozens of lives, he becomes a celebrated figure in the city's history and its waterfront safety. In 1932, Charles C. Ebbets photographs New York scenes, later gaining fame for the lunch atop a skyscraper image. Though taken in 1932, Ebbets wasn't officially recognized as its photographer until 2003, long after the iconic shot. In 1950, a man is photographed judging a prettiest legs competition in Paris, France. The image captures post-war leisure culture, fashion, and entertainment, reflecting the playful contests and social gatherings that characterized urban life in mid-20th century Paris. This parade mask, worn by elite Roman cavalry known as Equites Romani, dates to the 1st century CE. Discovered in the Netherlands in 1915, it offers a rare glimpse into Roman military pageantry and ceremonial armor. In 1862, a class of boys from Chelmsford Charity School in Essex, England, is photographed. This image reflects Victorian-era education charitable institutions and the social efforts to provide learning opportunities for children from less privileged backgrounds. Circa 1905, the wooden railroad bridge of the Columbia and Nehalem Valley Railroad spans McBride Creek in Montana, USA. This structure illustrates early 20th century rail infrastructure and the engineering efforts that supported transportation and commerce in remote regions. An elderly Italian woman kisses an American soldier on April 25, 1945. Capturing a moment of relief and gratitude following Italy's liberation in the final months of World War II. A quiet expression of hope after years of hardship. A waitress on roller skates glides across a bustling diner in the 1940s, balancing a full tray of food for waiting customers, reflecting the era's lively service culture and the charm of mid-century American dining. The original Neue Elbbrücke Bridge in Hamburg, Germany, stood from 1887 to 1959, a striking structure marked by its 2 Gothic towers, which were demolished during the bridge's widening in 1959, ending an era of distinctive architectural presence. The Microsoft staff in 1978 stands together just 3 years after the company's founding by Bill Gates and Paul Allen on April 4, 1975, capturing the early team that would help shape the future of personal computing. X-ray scans at the Museo del Prado reveal that Carreño de Miranda's 1681 portrait of Carlos II hides an earlier depiction beneath it. Both layers show the young king in the Hall of Mirrors of the real Alcazar in Madrid. A man changes the tire on a well-worn 1927 Ford Model T Coupe, the first affordable car for middle-class Americans, made possible by Henry Ford's mass assembly line production that revolutionized access to personal transportation for millions worldwide. Charles Chaplin stands beside Russian prima ballerina Anna Pavlova in 1922, capturing a rare meeting between two iconic figures whose talents shaped early cinema and classical dance, a brief moment uniting artistry across stage and screen. Recovering soldiers play basketball in Étaples, France on May 1, 1918, finding brief relief from the hardships of World War I. The game offers a moment of normalcy and renewal as they work to regain strength during their recovery. Edith Burchett displays the tattoos crafted by her husband, George Professor Burchett, widely known as the King of Tattooists in the 1920s, highlighting the couple's influential role in the early development of modern Western tattoo culture. A Native American Absaroki mother holds her child in 1908, captured by photographer Edward S. Curtis. The portrait reflects the quiet strength and enduring traditions of the Absaroki people during a period of profound change in indigenous life. Laika became the first living creature to orbit Earth aboard the Soviet Sputnik 2 mission on November 3, 1957. The mission was one way, marking a historic yet somber milestone in the early exploration of space. A young Japanese girl and boy are captured in 1908 by photographer Arnold Genti, offering a glimpse into daily life in early 20th century Japan and the innocence of childhood amid a rapidly changing society. The Fifth Solvay International Conference on Electrons and Photons took place in Brussels in October 1927, bringing together the world's leading physicists, including Einstein, Marie Curie, and Niels Bohr, with 17 of the 29 attendees either already or later becoming Nobel Prize winners. A group of young coal mining workers poses for a photograph in January 1911 at the Pennsylvania Coal Company in Pittston, Pennsylvania, highlighting the harsh realities and early labor contributions of children in America's industrial coal industry. A view near the town hall of Copenhagen, Denmark, around 1905, capturing the city's early 20th century architecture and bustling streets, offering a glimpse into urban life in the Danish capital during this period. The oldest known photograph of a U.S. president depicts John Quincy Adams in 1843, preserving the image of the sixth president nearly 2 decades after his term and offering a rare glimpse into early photographic history. During their first visit to the United States in 1964, the Beatles meet 22-year-old Muhammad Ali, then known as Cassius Clay, in Miami, capturing a historic encounter between rising icons of music and sports at the height of cultural change. The city of Cologne, Germany lies in ruins at the end of World War II in April 1945, a stark testament to the devastation of the conflict and the destruction endured by urban centers across Europe. A soldier shares a farewell kiss before departing for the Korean War on September 6, 1950, in Los Angeles, capturing a poignant moment of love, uncertainty, and the personal sacrifices behind global conflict. A cast iron and masonry public urinal stands on the curb of Rue du Faubourg Saint-Martin in Paris around 1865, photographed by Charles Marville, reflecting the city's 19th century efforts to modernize public sanitation and urban infrastructure. The two Kashmir giants pose with American photographer James Ricalton during the 1903 Delhi Durbar, celebrating King Edward VII's succession as Emperor of India, capturing a remarkable moment of colonial pageantry and human spectacle. Cars crossed the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco on its opening day, May 27, 1937, marking the debut of one of America's most iconic engineering feats and a new era in transportation along the West Coast. The first photograph to capture a living person was taken in Paris in 1838 by Louis Daguerre, marking a groundbreaking moment in photography and preserving a fleeting glimpse of everyday life in early 19th century France. Rescued East African enslaved people are brought aboard HMS Daphne in November 1868 after being freed from Arab slave traders. The British naval ship was part of anti-slave trade patrols, reflecting Britain's efforts to suppress slavery along African coasts. The blade of this dagger, crafted from a meteorite, was discovered in 1925 in the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, who was buried in the 14th century BC, highlighting the extraordinary materials and craftsmanship of ancient Egypt. British tourists pose in front of the Great Sphinx in Cairo, Egypt in 1910, capturing early 20th century travel and fascination with ancient monuments that drew visitors from around the world. 5 women stand together in swimsuits on a beach in 1924, illustrating the era's changing attitudes toward leisure fashion and the growing popularity of seaside recreation in early 20th century society. In 1904, a young boy posed with remarkable style, capturing the spirit and fashion of the era. This simple moment offers a glimpse into childhood self-expression and the visual culture of the early 20th century. In the early 1900s, 2 boys were arrested in New York for pickpocketing. Their capture highlights the challenges of urban life law enforcement and youth in the city during a period of rapid social and economic change. In 1907, a stylish couple is photographed driving an early automobile in Pittsburgh. The image captures the excitement of new automotive technology and the fashion of the era's urban society. In 1909, Madame de Courcelles became the first female taxi driver in Paris, France. The photograph captures a pioneering moment in women's history and the gradual shift in gender roles within early 20th century urban life. A group of men poses inside a Wild West saloon. Though the date and location are unknown, the photograph evokes the atmosphere of frontier life and the social culture of saloons in the American West. In 1887, 2 little girls are photographed together. This simple yet intimate image captures childhood in the late 19th century, offering a glimpse into clothing social norms and the everyday lives of young children during the era. In 1911, a young girl is photographed in a formal portrait. The image reflects early 20th century fashion childhood presentation and the era's photographic practices, preserving a personal moment of youth for posterity. In 1908, newsboys in Indiana wait for the baseball edition of the newspaper. This scene highlights the role of children in urban labor, capturing both the anticipation of readers and the industrious spirit of youth at the time. In 1910, two friends stroll through a cool stream on a warm day. This image captures leisure and friendship, reflecting how people sought relief and recreation in natural settings during the early 20th century. Between 1890 and 1910, a young woman poses for a studio portrait in Kentucky. The image reflects the era's photographic conventions, fashion, and social customs, preserving a personal moment and the dignity of early 20th century portraiture. In the 1870s, a tintype captures two Victorian gentlemen proudly displaying their feet. This playful photograph reflects the era's portrait conventions while hinting at humor and personality, offering a rare glimpse into informal, lighthearted moments of Victorian life. In 1907, cowboys are photographed enjoying drinks at the Equity Bar in Old Tascosa, Texas. This scene captures social life in a frontier town, reflecting leisure camaraderie and the informal culture of the American West during the early 20th century. On October 6, 1908, Claude Monet and his wife are photographed in Venice. This image captures the renowned artist during his travels, offering a glimpse into his personal life and the environments that inspired his celebrated works. In 1913, Henri Roget photographs children playing on a balcony in Paris. This image captures everyday urban life, highlighting youthful energy, social interaction, and the intimate moments of childhood amid the streets and architecture of early 20th century Paris. In 1926, schoolboys are photographed heading home for Christmas. This scene captures the anticipation and joy of the holiday season, reflecting both the rhythms of school life and the enduring traditions of family and celebration in early 20th century communities. In 1933, crowds celebrate the end of Prohibition. This historic moment captures public joy, social liberation, and the cultural shift following the repeal of the 18th Amendment, marking a significant turning point in American society and nightlife. In 1957, a llama is photographed in New York City's Times Square. This unusual scene captures the city's eclectic character, blending urban bustle with unexpected moments of whimsy and reflecting the playful side of mid-20th century street life. In the fading days of the American frontier, Tom Horn served as scout soldier and Pinkerton detective. Praised by politicians and relied on by cattlemen, his controversial life blurred the line between heroism and the harsh enforcement of law. In the 1850s, miners are photographed working in California's Auburn Ravine region. This image captures the intensity and labor of the Gold Rush era, illustrating the determination, tools, and conditions faced by those seeking fortune in the American West. In 1890, coal miners in Pennsylvania are photographed at work. This image reflects the harsh conditions and physical demands of early industrial labor, highlighting the essential yet dangerous role of miners in powering America's growing economy. In 1893, street vendors are photographed selling goods in urban settings. This image captures the bustling energy of city life, illustrating early forms of commerce, entrepreneurship, and the everyday rhythms of the late 19th century marketplace.